Alrighty, folks, welcome, and, well, shoot, technically I should be changing the little image at the bottom right to golds, because that is the platinum logo. If I have a moment for that, I will do it. We are at the tail end of the group stage for gold, and this has been a crazy group, and honestly, a crazy season in a lot of these groups. Ganji was in platinum before. Ganji, in most predictions, was going to be first place. Ganji currently sits in fourth with only 4 wins. There is a solid enough chance that if Ganji doesn't perform well today, that he could be in the relegation zone. If Stone Please is performing well in his other series against Lewis. And actually, at live updates on that, last I checked, Stone Please won that first game. So I won't be casting that series, but I'll keep everybody updated on what happens there. Kasva has 6 wins. I think many people kind of wrote Kasva off. Kasva's been around a long time. He isn't as active as Ganji these days. We're catching up to live time, by the way. And so I think, even I was like, maybe Kasva gets 4th place. Maybe Kasva gets 4 or 5 wins or something. But he's at 6, and he's looked really good. And he's going to look at this as an opportunity to get more wins to potentially get into the playoffs himself here. So, been really impressed with Kasva. We've got Byzantines for Kasva. Now we're normal speed, because we're up to live time. Byzantines have also performed really well on this map. Lithuanians have as well. And so we've got Lithuanians for Ganji. If you're paying attention, you saw he went to wood a little bit earlier. You can do that because you have the extra food at the start with Lithuanians, and then you just get the fishing ship lead because of that. So really smooth eco for the Lithuanians. Really fast spears and skirms, but the Byzantines have the cheap spears and skirms. The Byzantines have the HP. The Byzantines have the stronger fires. Basically, you got to get a bit ahead of Byzantines, and you've got to stay ahead, right? All right, so just because we made the logos and we have a moment, let me just switch this. We're going to switch this real quick. And then I'm going to have to switch it tomorrow. But there we go. All right, we're officially gold. Perfect. So, map-wise, the gold is very far forward for Kasva and for Ganji. Whoa. Now, the nature of map scripting, guys, is if one resource is forward, generally speaking, the rest are going to be on the back. So when the map pushes the main golds forward, what does it do? It gives them the back res as well, right? That's not always the case, but again, generally speaking, that's how it goes. Ganji runs into his opponent's TC there. A little sloppy. He passed by the lumber camp. He also passed by the berries. But he didn't see a house or a straggler tree in time. So Kasva got some really nice HP hits there. And that's really valuable on this map because the Byzantines like to sneak. And oh boy, now Kasva, he's fallen into the same situation. But he's trying to actually steal some of these turkeys. They're geese, excuse me. Kasva is going to steal 2 of them. One of them died to the TC fire. And honestly, I think, Ganji's like, I'm not going to get these back. So I'm just going to try and kill that one. Or maybe he did that by mistake. Oink! Now Kasva kills it. Now, the scout HP is critical here. And it's also critical. Did Ganji see... Oh my god, Kasva! Kasva's trying to sneak a Vil before he scouted his opponent. This isn't very sneaky, is it? Both scouts are super weak. Kasva's just strolling on through Ganji's eco. Like, hello. And yeah, he just decided to send the Vil before he had any scouting intel because he pushed in deer and whatnot, right? So, I mean, Ganji's a Black Forest expert. So you would expect that he's going to be in a good situation to kill this Vil and stop it from getting any quick walls. But his scout can't be there now, and Kasva's scout can distract. And that scout does distract. And now Ganji drops a gate. Listen, you cannot allow the Byzantines to get a dock down on your pond. You just can't. We've got a galley on the way for Ganji, too. So he's going to hope to eventually deny that. Kasva's blocking it off. And Kasva... Oh, he's going to lose the scout. He's going to get the walls around the dock. So he'll feel like he's in a good spot. But that galley's on the way, guys. So that galley should be able to deny this dock. We'll see. I think the Vil... oh, man, I got to sneeze. I think the Vil will go down. Or it will just run away. And so, yeah, Doc was only at 50%. Nice defense there from Ganji. Things got very messy, obviously. But I expect more of the same in this series. Look at this. Ganji got super housed here. He's dropping a stable now. And Villager's able to just run away for Kasva. We'll see what that Vill does. Now in the south, we have fishing from Kasva. Kasva just double-checking the shorelines there to see if Ganji is also gone for a sneak dock. There's no scout for Kasva now, and there will be multiple scouts for Ganji. This is crazy, right? Kasva can't see what his opponent has opened with at all. But he's just YOLOing the Vills to the sides. I think this Villager might meet him over there. And then we have a dock from Ganji as well. So, I mean, I prefer Ganji's position. It's only been one kill, but having the initial scout, going for more scouts, having this knowledge is really good. But saying that, Ganji just showed this scout, so Kasva will know his opponent has opened scouts now, because the other one would be weak. I think he remembered this scout was one hit, and then when he hit it and it didn't die, I'm sure he knew. There she goes. Ganji might be searching for her. Ganji finds her. Tough time for this Vill. What a life she's lived. She was not really... I mean, she was thrown into the wolves, man. Walked through the enemy eco. Up against a galley on the shoreline. And then dies to some scouts. And now... Now Ganji's checking. He's using that weak scout. And he'll see the dock. So he knows that Kasva's over there. This is Kasva's gate, by the way. So that's just wood sitting there that he can't do anything with. I wonder if he'll ever delete that. Probably not. Kasva now coming to the left side. And we'll also see that Ganji's there. You might not want to show Ganji that you know about that. And Ganji scouting with his fishing ship to double check the shoreline, as one should. And he will find that there's a dock there. But he also has archers here already. Wow, so he goes scouts and then he goes archers. Casa was not prepared for this, guys. What a fast switch. That's crazy. Now, micro hasn't been perfect for Ganji. It's messy, but he's accomplished an awful lot here. Kasva was thinking that he could just go into spears and be fine, but just not understanding his opponent was switching behind this, not expecting it that quickly. He's completely caught him off guard. He's off of gold now. This eco is a mess. And what a great start for Ganji, guys. Kasva will snipe a villager on the shoreline here. Could kill these fishing ships. We'll see how that plays out. Kasva's queued up some archers and a bunch of skirms in that range in a panic. So maybe he can hold on here. Fletching isn't in yet for Ganji, but as I say it, he clicks the upgrade. This is so much aggression from him. But also, a lot of random units here from Kasva. He's definitely playing the Byzantines to their strengths, right? So he just made a ton of units. And so technically the archers could still snipe the spears. The scouts could snipe the skirms, but there's just too much going on right now. And Ganji's expecting some pressure over here. And Spearman goes down there from Ganji. So pretty close game. Somehow. I mean, it looked really bad for Kasva, but he just got back onto his res by overproducing skirms and spears. Crazy. Raiding Rebel says, why can't he just delete the gate? He can. He did now. But he's just not looking there, so he didn't realize the foundation was still there. Man, you can tell Kasva has had no scout this game. Like, I think it just dawned on him, oh crap, I can maybe wall to the edge of the map. No, it didn't. Like, a wall to the edge of the map's really realistic, but he's just lacking some vision and awareness now. That's a big trash army, though. Like, if this army gets some upgrades and heads forward to Ganji's base, Ganji could have some real problems. And Ganji's going to do the same thing to Kasva that Kasva did on the left side. Bring an archer for the Shorefish Vill. Ooh, and he's actually fighting back. And Ganji... Micro... Oh, he was so close to saving himself. Nice micro there from Ganji. Oh my god, but Ganji lost! In that moment, guys, some relatable content here. As Ganji realized he could lose that archer... Ganji went forward with this army and lost every single scout. Well, except for one. So that's a good trade for Kasva, if you ask me. Multitasking is so tough on this map. There's so many different things to focus on. And we're talking gold now, so there's a little bit more execution errors from time to time. Especially, I think, considering the moment as well. Like, this is such... The longer group stage goes, the more important the games are. And for these two, they both are desperate for wins. Wow, after that, I really like Kasva's position here. Kasva will kill off the army from Ganji on the front. Ganji's losing a lot of units here. Like, his land units have not really been controlled all that well. Random skirms going down. He will add another scout now to try and pick off this, and he will get some kills. But think about the position for Kasva. Kasva's been relatively uninterrupted. He's Byzantines with the left pawn, could potentially win that. He also has already been fishing the right side, so he could have 3 pawns. And when your castle age a minute faster, there's a lot you can do with that. Now, is his eco perfect? Absolutely not. He still needs farms. He doesn't have any, except for, sorry, he has 1. Ganji's got some farms. Ganji still has berries, so the Ganji's had a better balance. But it's Byzantines. And that gold could be an absolute nightmare for Ganji to lock down here. The fires hopped out on this side. The other thing that's nice for Kasva is he doesn't even need to go for War Galley. Like, you're already winning this pretty significantly. To be able to skip that upgrade is sick. And I can't wait to show you the vision Kasva will have. Look at that vision now. Free vision upgrades is so nice here. Just to know if the opponent's coming to your base. I would love to see a siege workshop here too. I mean, with the way that gold's positioned for both of them, I feel like this will not be a very long one. The plan for Ganji is not to boom. He sold his stone. He's gone triple range here, so I think he's trying to go heavy skirms. I think initially he was doing that to match his opponent's skirms, and Lithuanians can out micro there. It's always good to have some skirms out too against any monks that might come out. But siege is a really solid counter to skirmishers, and poor Ganji just doesn't know that that pressure is going to be coming. But he is checking right now. Look at the scouting. Finds it. May see the monk, actually. Was microing here, so just missed that monk. But he knows that siege is going to be on the way. Now, I was just wondering, like, okay, what does he do then? See, a lot of players will go for their own siege, but Ganji loves his monks. So he's going to try and get redemption eventually. I think he needs more vills back here, though. I think he needs a lot more on gold to get redemption. And there's TC number 2 for Kasva. So Kasva really starting to think about enhancing that eco a little bit. Not fishing on this side. And only 3 fishing ships over here, so... Most of the fishing eco for him is down here in this pond, and that will run out for both. Ganji is actually fish trapping. It's amazing these small things that each player is doing and the other's not. So Kasva's like, he's playing more of the land transition. And Ganji is still going for a bit of a fish boom and is waiting to somehow find a counter to this. It's not going to be easy, though. What a close game. Zoma, thank you so much for the prime, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you. What's up, Mutant? What's up, Golden? Welcome. Who else just got here? I'll look at chat in a second. I get what Kasva's trying to do, but I think honestly, and I love that outpost, I think honestly you just got to grind down the buildings here. Grind down the buildings. You don't really need to hit the army. Ganji's probably not going to give you that opportunity. That outpost is absolutely insane, dude. I'd love to see more on the sides as well. Just 2 more outposts and I'll see the whole map. Look at what the house from earlier did. How are you supposed to surprise Kasva right now if you're Ganji? I think the answer is you probably don't. Fish traps are still being set up on that one pond. That's nice, of course, but so are farms. So are villagers out of 3 TCs. The way this game is going, this is looking really good for Kasva. He knows exactly what his opponent's doing now. What's up, Dragonstar? What's up, Crash Test Dummy? Kasva's an old pro, so he like, and he's not really, I wouldn't say he's super technical. He's more map control and messy focus. And so he's a player who's going to prioritize outposts because of it. He's a player who's also going to take fights like that. Just like, I don't care. I can win it. I'll make it happen. He just always wants the action. But Ganji's defense has been fantastic. Wow, 2 for 0 on the Mangonel kills. And now he has skirms with better upgrades than the skirms for the opponent. And just as there's times to get excited for Ganji, now he loses his Mangonels. Oh, God. And now he loses the skirms as well. Oh, and the villain's coming over from Kasva. We'll get the repairs as well. Oh, that's crazy. Man, with slightly better engagements there, Ganji could have maybe taken the hill. Kasva still doesn't really have a big skirm mess here. It still doesn't have Bodkin Arrow either. But there are still skirms. There's always the potential for more siege. It doesn't feel like he can easily take this area right now. You're also, when you're looking at it from Ganji's perspective, all you see is clutter. And you know your opponent's going to see every move that you make. This is literally Kasva's point of view. There's no difference between full vision and Kasva's point of view right now. It's amazing just how much vision he's got. And so he could see the Cav Archers coming this way. Move his units away ahead of time. Now, the outpost may go down. But look at it from Ganji's perspective. He has no clue that the siege is coming in. So if he's not paying attention... Oh, he made his own outpost. Yeah, nice shot from him so he doesn't get fully surprised there. Another big trade there from Kasva. He still needs repairs, though. As long as he's repairing those mangonels, this is getting really dangerous for Ganji. And Ganji wants a castle, but I don't know if he'll get there in time. Kasva was on stone, but he had to pull off of stone because of the CA. Enzyme, you don't need to research town patrol if you're Byzantines. You get that for free. So free town patrol is what we're seeing here. No one researches town patrol with other civs at Castle Age. It just never happens. But Byzantines have it for free, and it's paying off here. Skirms are paying off. Monk there could pay off to convert the knight. Ganji's trying to think of everything he can to deal with this. He really wanted... That's a beautiful attack round. He really wanted to snipe the weak siege with the knights there. But now there's monks. 1 for 1. Whatever's left of those Cav Archers are going to loop home for Ganji. There's not much. Kasva, 20 eco lead. And this is where a forward castle and fast imp would end the game in a lot of cases. Kasva's economy is ridiculous. We're looking at 30 farms here. It just isn't on stone. I wonder if he buys a castle, honestly. With those resources, if you don't have... Like, you have the position to get the castle up on that hill now. Well, maybe he won't. Let's see. Big mangonel shot. Monk doesn't get the conversion, but so costly for Ganji. He just never... He always seems to be lacking the numbers. He does pick off the mangonel, but doesn't have an army. Ganji has just not had control since early castle. And it's hard to fishman. When you're under this much pressure, it's hard to get the fish traps down. So a lot of you guys might be like, oh, Ganji's underperforming. I've seen him do this all the time. Yeah, but he doesn't have massive Byzantine army in front of his main gold on his face. So if you've got time, yeah, fish trap away. But if you don't have time, you're not going to get the numbers. Kasva is on the way to imp. Kasva has a 20 eco lead. Kasva is going for 5 town centers. Kasva's economy is going to be crazy. And even though he doesn't have a forward castle, even without it, I think things are going to be good. And he can see that castle there from Ganji to make decisions. I don't know what Ganji can do. I really don't know what Ganji can do from here. He needs a counterattack. Actually, what he needed this castle to be like here or something. He needed that castle onto Kasva somewhere. But he's never really had the army to be able to justify moving out. Yeah, I think Ganji, like, skirms felt natural to him, so he played ranges with skirms. He had to overmake range units because he lost so many in feudal. And then he already had Bodkin Arrow, and he was like, I need offensive damage, so let's go Cav Archer. So I think the Cav Archer play made sense considering the situation he was in. But, like, we've seen Byzantines lose, right? They lose because civs with better ecos and better timings use those timings. And here Ganji wasn't able to utilize the timings. He had a moment in feudal, which looked so good. But ever since Kasva defended from that, Kasva has just run with this lead. He's played it perfectly. It really has been just a clean, well-thought-out approach from Kasva all throughout Castle Age. He's done all the small things that people don't do. He's walling in his opponent. He's outposted the complete left-hand side of the map. He did build the forward castle. And he could still see Ganji's over here. Ganji's like, oh my god, that's a Byzantine house. I need to drop a castle quick. Because he's going to send some army over here. He can see me. And Kasva says, oh, that's funny. Honestly, like, Kasva, I'm stealing this from Dragonstar, who said this in my chat. Kasva is playing with Marco Polo on. Kasva's playing with cheat codes, dude. But also, his play has felt like a cheat code. It has just been perfect. He was, for a while in the past, Kasva was full-time AoE during COVID. He stepped back from that. I believe he's a nurse or something in Turkey. He's not playing the game as much. He's just been around, but not as active. And he has played amazing so far in gold. And guys, this is drama for Ganji. We're also going to get into live updates with the other series that's happening in this group. But Kasva wins the first game. Ganji needs victory. Ganji needs victories. He's only at 4 wins right now. We're in the 4th round. What a great game. I want to go back real quick. Like, obviously, it's very easy to fall back here and say Byzantines OP. I want to go back to this moment. This is where it's like you're Byzantines and you're like, how in the world am I supposed to compete with these timings? That's crazy control there from Ganji. He's got control over the guy's main gold. He's got really good vision there. I mean, this is where he had all the initiative. And then Kasva just finds a way. Like, this is a weird moment, right? Like, I think if Ganji was more confident in his micro, he still could take better fight here. But there's just so much going on, he wasn't quite able to manage it. And then it wasn't just that. It was actually one moment. Shout out to Ron, okay? So Ron's over here fishing away. He starts to get attacked. And then Ganji realizes, oh my god, my archer's on 2 HP. That's 1 hit away. I need to micro this. So as he's microing here, he's like, okay, I gotta get it. Oh god, I could die. Gotta back away a little bit more. Boom. And then, boom, he does all that. All his scouts died. Like, that Vil changed the game. Sure, the Vil is dead, but they need to make a monument for that Vil. Because look at all the scout control that Ganji had. But because he was so focused on it, everything here went down. And then, I mean, the snowball from that was he then doesn't have the support, so he loses these ranged units. Then I think he adds more ranges to recoup numbers. Because of losing those numbers, like, that was the moment that changed the game. And then Kasva, Castley just played it perfectly. He's like, all right, I'll take the hill. I'll boom. And he played a great game. So scores 1-0. Ganji under pressure. All right, so game 2, we'll catch up to live time. And Ganji, this is his type of map. This is where he excels. I know it hasn't necessarily been as... He hasn't gotten the wins that many people were expecting, but this is where you would expect him to play well. Now, what's interesting to me is Kasva didn't actually ban this. So after you pick your first map, sorry, prior to picking the first maps, there's bans. And so we've seen Zhong banned out a lot. But look at Kasva's approach. Kasva knows what's up, guys. He's built the lumber camp here to chop through those trees directly to get to the shrine. He's already made a priest there. And the priest will wait to escape. But the priest actually healed up the scout. These are some details that I've seen from the super prepared players. I think it was Vinchester that did it. Because you can only produce the priests out of this. You can't put the relics inside. So, I mean, meanwhile, on the other side, we haven't seen that yet from Ganji. But anytime you're up against Cumans, you got to be thinking, how do you stop the Cumans? I like this from Kasva. If you're going to get a Civ against Ganji, Cumans is it, man. And I can already tell, I mean, just these tiny details. It's not like he's coming in and he's not prepped. So I don't know if I should name names here. I probably will say it eventually, but I'm not going to say it right now. Just to give you some perspective. So we had somebody say in their 4th round, it might have been the 3rd. I believe it was their 4th round. Go to one of my admins, guys, and say, I didn't know there was fish on Jungle Swamp. I never watched any other games or Rex. So it was round 4 in gold. They found out in-game, because it was the first time they played Jungle Swamp, that there were 5 fish there. And then you have Kasva, this is the reason I point this out, doing all these tiny little details. He's like, oh, I saw that. Okay, I can do this. Clearly Kasva's preparations there, you know? Yeah, and I guess what happened is they looked at the scenario editor one time, and the scenario editor didn't show fish. So they I guess had complained about that, but round 4 and not knowing there's fish in Jungle Swamp is pretty wild to me. Dragonstar in chat says someone probably practiced with Kasva. Yeah, 100%, dude. 100%. You could tell. You could tell when a player practices and when they don't. By the way, Dragonstar, I've really enjoyed your game so far, dude. So keep it up. Made things very interesting. Yeah, I'll probably say the name eventually, but I don't want to use this moment to talk about anything but how good Kasva's playing. So, Wishbear, thanks for the 25. He says, "What's the most boring strat to watch, and why is it Cav Archer spam?" I don't know. Would chat agree with that? Some people would say going monks is boring. Some people would say going scouts is boring. Some people would say Black Forest 1v1 is boring. But I get it. Cav Archers can be kind of boring after a while. Skirm War is kind of boring. Yep. Joshi, thanks for the 6. Thank you, guys. So you could pick up these relics before Castle Age. You could pick them up now if you wanted to. I think what's nice here, and Kasva should be doing it actually, is since you're in Feudal Age, this is your time to do it. You've got a scout that's in Feudal. The opponent can't go out with their scout because they'll die to that. So you need to be getting the relics, and there goes the priest. So shout out to this old man making his way to the relics. Now, I think it was Nikov. So Nikov actually mined extra gold. He mined like 50 extra golds. So he could make a second priest in this moment. And so he had 2 priests walking around getting the relics before the opponent could contest. He ended up dropping 3 relics inside of his walls. Because that's what you have to do. So I wonder if Kasva will do that. I mean, you need the food and the wood eco to get his strat to work. He still could maybe get 2 of these. We'll see. I'm curious now. Oh, dude, he's so prepped. Unless he pulls them, that could have just been automatic. Is this intentional? Oh, he's so prepped. He's so practiced. Oh, I'm so excited, dude. This is what I'm talking about. See, some people, okay, they get promoted and they're just like, whatever. And guess what? They get relegated, okay? Because prepared players who are pumped for the moment and the opportunity are like, I've got to be ready. And I hate it when someone isn't ready to go. And I love it when these tiny little details are there. And look, he's going to get enough gold for the next priest, and then he should probably stop making more. Sorry, I got too excited. But, oh, man, it just, this is what it's all about, man. Nothing makes me not want to do this more when a really talented player clearly doesn't give a damn. And that has happened before, and it's not happening here, so I'm happy. Uh-oh. Okay, well, priest goes down. That's sad. But Scout will chase Ganji back home. Now, I think, talking about the tiny details, he was a little late to moving out with that priest. I really think if he had moved out earlier, that would already be inside of his walls. Well done from Ganji here. Now, his priest is there. And he wants conversions. Kasva wanted to kill. Oh, man, Kasva's so lucky. That could have so easily been a conversion. And it's fast castle there for Ganji. But he's down by 8 or so villas now. He is getting relic number 1. And then there's this relic. I think you just have to go for the safe one. Bring that inside of your walls. Would be expected that Ganji's fully healed now if you're Kasva. HP is still better for Kasva. He got the downhill hits. Oof, wait. Nope. Oh, it's a Cumin Scout as well. That should be a kill and a dead priest. Oh, but he's healing it. He healed it. And Kasva realizes, and now Kasva has to back away. That was some next level monkage right there. Or technically, they're priests. What is it, priestage? Oh, and now Kasva's going to do the same thing. Heals up, and now Ganji backs away. Wow. All right. So, 2 TCs pumping for Kasva. What's the plan here for Ganji? Does he go aggressive? You have to be extreme against the humans. You either go extremely aggressive or you go extremely defensive and hope that your late game is superior. And he's definitely going for the latter. He may even buy stone for another TC. We may see even 4 TC boom. Both players have done a really nice job being active with their scouts and their priests here. There's TC number 2. And Ganji will likely add TC number 3. And there it is. Eco upgrades are absolutely insane. Bowsaw and Heavy Plow already in, plus the town centers. This is exactly what the Burgundians want to be doing. Someone saying that Kasva being on 300 gold is weird. I don't think so. It's pretty common to just buy a little bit of food here. He'll probably just buy an extra 100 food or something. That's just normal. Well, scout fight. They're not going for a scout build. Oh, and the healing again. And now Kasva backs away again. But Kasva's getting that. Does Ganji know that Relic is gone right now? He seems to. Okay, now the Relic's popped out. But now the scout is being healed again. And Ganji's sick of this crap. Ganji just wants to go get the kill. And can Kasva kill the scout? I don't think he can. I think the priest... Now he's going to kill the priest. But he's attacking uphill. Ooh, and so 2 priests go down. Human scout as well is slightly faster here. So you should be able to run around and not be in danger. All right, so on one hand, this is good for Kasva because he's got the relics, at least 2 in his base, and he's got the Villi. But on the other hand, the Burgundians are usually going to catch up. So I've seen this matchup a lot in training sessions as well as like tournaments. Depends on the tournament these days because here in Titans League, we've really opened up the picks a lot. We allow players to prep their strats and go for it, right? Usually the res collected evens out. In like 5 to 10 minutes, it is very even, and the Burgundians may even pass. So, what Kasva's trying to do is he's really trying to invest and take map control. Because right now he's collected more, right now he's going to spend more. And he's adding scouts on the field. Which should mean he ends up getting 3 relics. And then it could also mean he goes for a forward castle. I don't think Ganji realized that his opponent was going for scouts there. I think he thinks it's that one scout. And now he loses another priest. But Kasva's on the way. Ganji also notices that's so good. A little sloppy from Kasva, maybe. He will be frustrated that happens. Because he had the scouts around, but... You know, he has to make another one now. And then he's got to make a monastery to collect those. Ganji already has his 2. Both civs are pretty mobile in the late game, but I really prefer the Burgundians. Their gunpowder, basically like Halb, gunpowder, bombardier is really tough for the humans to deal with. So, normally if you're going fast imp, you don't actually go for quite as much army production. This is a lot of army production. That probably needs to be deleted. Yep. That's good for Ganji. Ganji also caught a glimpse of how many scouts were there too, so now he gets a heads up that he might need to get the pike upgrade. But it feels like map control from Kasva, forward castle, fast imp. But he spent a lot of the food on the light cav. He fights off the spears. That's really well done. Look at the micro from Kasva, guys. Look at the micro. He pulled back all the weak ones to heal them up. That's crazy. He's also going to add siege. He's also going to add knights. Oh, I love Kasva, man. You really just don't see players like this these days. He just knows how to send it. Like, you talk to some people in the top 15 right now, they'd be like, well, Knight's actually just a huge waste of res. It's so bad. It's so... Kasva's like, I don't give a crap. I'm going to send army and aggression because this game is hard, and he really puts people under pressure. He will drop that castle in the middle. That will secure that gold. Still hasn't collected these relics. Still hasn't collected this relic, actually. And Ganji's been able to send some light cav over there, so that relic might not come in. Yeah, Kasva puts his foot on the gas and never lets go. It's a good way to describe it. That said, I thought he was going to go all in knights, but now he's clearly going imp, so maybe he's decided He's not going to go for knights. But Ganji's now concerned he needs to defend against some siege. And he's actually fighting for map control here. So he doesn't know the castle's up yet. So he is going to... Oh, he's going to let the units right in! Kasva's foot is on the gas! And he drives right into the heart of Ganji's base. Oh, man, the monks go down. Quick walls now from Ganji. Very well played. But that's so good for Kasva. And he also gets to see now multiple stables. He gets to see the knights. So he knows his opponent actually isn't imping. And now the light cav go through. Oh, God, Loom isn't even in, guys. Is Ganji going to get relegated? It could happen. But the quick walls happen. The light cav will go down. He didn't lose any vills. Kasva's up. So what does Kasva make now? What is the unit comp for Kasva? Hip check seems like the play. He certainly... It looks like he wants another castle. If he places this too aggressively, this could be denied. It's Kasva, so you think it's going to be right on the walls or something. I think a safe castle's fine. That's actually the imp TC for Ganji as well. That's such a Kasva castle. Bro, you just saw your opponent has like 6 knights in there. Are you kidding me? All right, there he goes. Ganji doesn't know what his opponent has necessarily. He's building a counter castle. There's Kipchaks and there's camels. If Ganji attacks the vills, though, it could delay it enough where this castle gets denied. He'll toss in his army here. I like this decision from Ganji. This is very risky from Kasva. His castle may not go up here. It's at 90%. It's going to go up, though. That's why you place a castle like... Never a doubt. Castle goes up. And now it'll be 2 castles for Kasva to make trebs out of. Now, he doesn't actually have a ton of food eco. It's also going to TC here, which is pretty crazy. That could be denied. There's a lot of things that could go wrong. Ganji a minute behind to imp. Kasva making the trebs. And yeah, Ganji's under a lot of pressure right now. Like, he's making petards to take this castle down, which I kind of like, because he can't win the treb war. But he will still probably lose his castle. And he is just now going to stone. Kasva with the... Oh my god, what the... Dude, I've never associated quick walls like that with Kasva. Kasva's playing insane. Also, look how active he is on the sides, guys. Like, Kasva's playing some of the best Age of Empires I've ever seen. He's light cap patrolling here. He knows the enemy's going to expand here. Did he just open the gate? Yeah, he just parked the camel there to keep the gate open as well. This is unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. He's playing so good. He's not giving Ganji any time. And now he's got the trebs, and Ganji's going to lose his castle. The sad thing is for Ganji as well, I don't know if he's going to have enough time to make the petards to take out this castle. I think one of his petards actually got shot by the castle. Oh, man. That's nuts. Yeah, castle will go down for Ganji. His TC will follow. He has no map control. I like his decision here. He's going to go Cavalier. This is bad. Like, some of the normal things you do where you take your time and you go for cannons and bomber cannons, that's out the window now. You don't have that opportunity. So he's going to just try his best. Kasva has no chill. Like, look at him just run in with camels. It's so funny, dude. He's so crazy. Just runs in with camels. And he gets a peek at everything his opponent's doing. Imagine being Ganji right now. Must be so annoying to chase these down. There he comes with the kip checks. And now this gives him time. So I really think normally the best thing you could make here, if you're Kasva, would probably be help. But if you have this much gold and you have this position, you could also just match your opponent's Cavalier as well. If it's Cavalier v Cavalier, the Cuman Cavalier are superior. And look at all the gold he's going to have. There are barracks being dropped now too, so I think we'll see Pike. And yeah, guys, I mean, Ganji, 4 wins. I really don't think he's going to get it on his home, a win on his home map here either. And from Kasva's perspective, he could get first in the group. That's what he's hoping for right now, is first in the group, automatic promotion to Plat. Ganji will do what he can. He'll back up with the 2 relics he has. This relic's still not taken, by the way, but who cares about that at this point? Kasva has been a little bit of patience. Has had a little bit of patience here. Also, chat, question. Can someone tell me if the 3rd game between Stone Please and Lewis ended? And if it did, what the result is there? Okay, it's done and Lewis won 2-1. Okay. So that's good for Ganji. Lewis is also competing for first, so that's also puts Kasva in more pressure to get the result done. But I mean, the final map is Kasva's home map. He's got Pike, he's got Cavalier, he's got a 20 lead, he's got all the gold in the middle. Like, Kasva's just played a perfect series here, guys. Here we go. Bombard cannons are out. This is the difference maker between the civs. One has bombard cannon, the other does not. But look at the numbers from Kasva. Kasva packing up his trebs. He'll lose 1. And he got a little concerned there. Now, from what I can see, he probably wins that fight if the monks aren't there. It's pretty close. He seems to just be waiting right now. Honestly, I'd let the monks convert the Kipchaks, and then I'd attack with the Cavalier. Oh, Bombard Cannon went down to the Trebs. Kasva's castle's not really being repaired. 20 Cavalier for both of them. Ganji making good use of the monks. Kasva losing some grounds here, maybe. He's going to drop a siege workshop here. There's lots of golds on the sides and the middle. And Kasva will let that castle go down, and he's raiding Ganji on the left side now. Ganji needs a reaction here. He still can't leave his bombard cannons, though, and he loses a lot of ills. Quick walls, but does lose a lot of ills. Down by 20. I feel like Kasva will naturally look to the other side now. That's been a big thinking of his, is to pressure the sides. Paladin now on the way for Ganji. Okay. I mean, if he gets to Paladin and he gets to hand cannon, that's really strong here. He does have some hand cannons in queue. He has very little gold, though, which I think has to be on Kasva's mind. And now we have Trebs taking out the gate, and we have Halb now. Halb Cavalier is not easy for Ganji to stop right now. Certainly if he runs out of gold. Oh my god, Kasva can't help himself. He just runs right in. He can't even wait till the gate gets destroyed. This actually helps Ganji because the pathing there is tough for Kasva. But Kasva knows, like, I'm on maybe on a timer if he gets to more gunpowder. I have to utilize my Halb upgrade. And he takes a very good fight there. He did lose a lot of his Cavalier, obviously, but he killed off a lot of the Cavalier before Paladin. There was also a raid from Ganji on this side, which Kasva noticed. Kasva really needs some stone. He needs some stone to start building castles in these other areas. Like a castle on the left, a castle on the right now. There's opportunities for Ganji because he's sneaking out to some of these golds. But you see what I mean? Kasva's like, okay, gotta ram push the left, check the right, and he sees it. And when you're finding this damage, that's just a reminder. If he's taking gold there with no protection, he's desperate. Really good damage from Kasva. I also think that Kipchak is checking the stone that was over here. It's already gone now. But clearly there was just like an oh yeah moment for Kasva. Ganji's got this last push. This is it. Kasva will have his own Paladin in 2 minutes. Andy has Halb. Andy's got the gold. Andy's got 3 relics. There's one more chance for Kasva here, for Ganji here, excuse me. Now, if he really is active, Kasva may take a fight before he gets Paladin. That's what you're hoping for. And then Kasva could throw this. So Kasva needs patience, and he needs to wait until he has his own Paladin. And I would say repairing this castle, buying whatever stone you need to repair this castle, all that's really important here. Even if you have to give up the castle before... Like, giving up the castle is fine if that's what you need to fight after Paladin completes and not before. Also, Blast Furnace is in for the Halbs and the Cavs, so it'll be +4 attack. There's 0 attack upgrades for Ganji. Like, this isn't even going to be close if it's Paladin v Paladin. And here we go. I think this is where Kasva takes the game, guys. He dives. The patience was perfect. And everything Ganji has here will die. His Paladins will die. His hand cannons will die to Kasva's Paladins. And Ganji down 2-0 to Kasva. Kasva's playing like an animal, man. I was really impressed. I would have never thought that Kasva would play this good in a closed map. I would have figured that he'd look a little bit sloppy. He wouldn't look comfortable here. And it was far from it. I could tell with the tiny details in his build and feudal age, where I got really excited, that he knew what was up with the map and had those tiny details down pat. His map control was great. Super clean play, too. Like, the activity with the raids on both sides, the send-it mentality to just dive into the opponent's base. He just... It feels like Kaz was working with twice as much time right now. It says here the speed's similar, but Kasva just really seems to be on top of it. And Ganji, I think what he'll regret is allowing Kasva into his base and giving Kasva that map control. I think Ganji at one point had like 6 or 7 spears. I think he was thinking about pikemen. Remember, he lost them all, and Kasva pulled back and saved all the weak light cav. I think Ganji wanted Pike and Light Cav in the middle to stop this castle. And he was never quite able to get there. But impressive from Kasva. So let's pull up the probabilities, shall we? Well, let's first look at this. Economy was so good for Kasva there. And it was always going to be good for the Cumans, but he didn't allow the Burgundians to catch up because he was pressuring so much. Here we are, folks. So we're catching up to live time because I had to look at math. And talk about probabilities. Basically, right now, if Kasva wins this, he is tied for first in the group, and he will play the person he is tied for first in the group with in the final round of Gold League. So that's just perfect. That's going to be so exciting. Kasva's playing as the Hindustanis. This is his home map, Kilimanjaro, and that's what Kasva's been trying to do. He's been trying to kill him in Ganji. Okay, that was bad. In my head, I thought that was going to be really creative. That was pretty bad. But yeah, he's been really aggressive today. He's been very active, and Ganji's kind of struggled. So we'll see what Ganji ends up doing here. Ganji, I mean, there's not a lot of wood around for really either of them. But Ganji's definitely lacking some trees. And he went for this guy. Now, these are acacia trees. They have 150 wood, so there's still lots to last with. Plus, you don't have to build houses, but... See if can Ganji manage on an open map against Kasva, when Kasva likes to play this aggressive. Especially against the Hindustanis. Like, Hindustanis can break through walls with their scouts. And I would expect Kasva to produce a lot of scouts here. Kasva hoping to wall up really early, actually. Well, if this matchup is that good for the Hindustanis, you might want to opt for the early walls. His stone's very far forward. His gold's very far forward, but that's kind of the same for Ganji. It's just what comes with this map. Eventually, you want to fight for that hill control. Wow, this is interesting. There's actually 2 separate hills. So here could be TC'd, and then here could be TC'd. It's not common that it's separated like that. Oh, man, you cannot lose your scout here for Ganji. You got to know what your opponent's doing. Oh, man, and it's 2 more hits away from death here for Ganji. I also don't think he could take the hill anymore and win. I think he loses his scout anyways. Yep, there's no way. I've done the math. There's no way Ganji saves this scout, and it goes down. Yikes. So he's trying to take some early fights there, and now he doesn't have vision on what Kasva's up to. And, you know, the other thing, when you're walling... You want to attack the opponent's scout like that. Even if Ganji saves the scout, a weak scout can't stop one villager walling, right? So Kasva will be happy there. In theory, Ganji could wall as well now, but that's very hard to really envision right now when you look at his map. And it will be scouts as well for Ganji, so he'll make some more here. King of Kings, the Hindustani game plan is make scouts and adapt. The nice thing about them is since their scouts do more damage versus buildings, even if the opponent does play defensive, you could still get value from them. Other scouts can't necessarily stay the same. So if the opponent goes heavy spears and doesn't have a lot of scouts, then you might want to switch into archers or something, but there's a lot of adaptation based on what you see, based on the feel of the game, right? And similar with Huns, by the way. Like, Huns are also going to go scouts and adapts typically. Huns would probably want to be on cav archers in the mid game. But Kasva slowly trying to get some walls down. And his scout's been active. His scout will see this. I mean, Kasva's up 2 games. He's killed the scout. He's playing into some walls and some defense here. This is a really comfortable position for him. He will love this matchup long term. Cheap vills, great camels. He just wants to ensure that Ganji can't get counter damage. And then Ganji is sending his army just the complete wrong directions. Like, losing that scout is just horrible. Just absolutely horrible. It affects everything. And he's also got some idle time at the TC right now. Even though the food is in the bank. So Kasva's almost walled. Scouts for Ganji just about to locate him now. He also sees the forward spears from Kasva. Kasva's being aggressive with. And did he see anything? Okay, so he just sees a palisade wall. So he's just like, okay, my opponent's fully walled. A tough feeling now when you've wanted to play open and aggressive. Also, like, again, the wood situation's never great, but I think this would have given him, like, maybe 1,000 more wood here. So he might need another lumber camp soon. And now he sees the gate from Kasva. He's knocking on the door. Jumpin' hump Barra bump. KT90 weird question. What? Someone with your username is going to ask a weird question? That's shocking. If 2 pros were playing each other, but one starts later into the game, what time frame would make it so the other player would have no way of coming back on a land map? Do you mean someone going AFK at the start? I mean, if it's 2 evenly matched pros, 20 seconds AFK at the start is pretty significant. So not long. Not long at all. If you're AFK for the first 20 seconds, you're behind on every critical timing. So, but you know, maybe if there is a level difference, maybe that is a bit different. I don't know. Do I freak out in Low Elo Legends when someone is AFK for the first minute? Do you think Ganji's having a lot of belief right now, guys? He's run into walls. He's had a rough day. Now his map situation doesn't look fantastic. He's going to move in. Now, this is a juicy lumber camp, but the villas are exposed. And when one player's walled and the other's not, usually he's going to benefit the player who could kind of make the decisions here, which is the player who's walled. Kasva still adding scouts around, bringing some spears, bringing more scouts. I like this from Kasva. A lot of people think about heading to Castle Age right now, and he's like, well, I could do that, but I could also... there's some opportunity to get damage now. Ganji goes for the market. Yeah, I think Ganji's just, like, mentally... he doesn't know what to do. What he could do is he could have transitioned into archers. Archers and scouts to try and pressure the walls, but he didn't do that. And he thinks his opponent's going to go up to Castle Age, so he's trying to market his way up as well. In a really awkward situation here. But Kasva's bringing the heat. 6 scouts are here. Spearmen are coming as well. Let's see if Ganji can defend this. Nice quick walls. No villagers killed this game. Awkward situations everywhere you look here for Ganji. On this wood line. Kasva just has to be patient, I think, with this position. You're not going to end the game right now, but you can get a lead, which can take you later into the game. The spearmen get trapped. Ganji traps the spears. He did also kill a scout. Bloodlines is now coming in for Kasva. Kasva's forward spears are... okay, they're going to move away. I mean, there's a lot of spearmen here from Ganji. Ganji sells his stone as well, so you can't even tower. But can Kasva get kills here? Bloodlines is on the way. Kasva can't help himself, man. Snipes the spearman. Quick walls from Ganji. Ganji quick walling again. What a crate. This is like a challenge scenario for quick walls. He does make a mistake. But honestly, it could have been so much worse. Kasva takes the fight, though. He has bloodlines. Kills off the spears. More spears are needed here from Ganji. What an awkward situation right now. Imagine an archer switch from Kasva. If Kasva went scout archer, Ganji would have big problems here. But Ganji's alive. Ganji's got wood. Ganji's got cheap cav archers. Kasva hasn't killed a single villager. These villagers are all working. The spear defense was worked out. Kasva still not on the way up to castle. He'll click up here in a sec. But this gives Ganji some time to get the cav archers out, guys. This is really good from Ganji. So many players would have just lost everything here. I thought he was lacking some confidence due to the map and due to the way the series was going. But this is good defense. Yeah, Kasva can't get enough damage done here. He keeps trying, but it'll be double range here from Ganji. He's going to make an archer. That helps a little bit with those two spears, but he wants CA. How is Kasva 6 eco ahead? Well, pay attention to the Vil count now. He's on the way to Castle Age, right? Ganji went to Castle Age faster, so his TC wasn't producing Vils. Now Kasva's TC is producing Vils. Or sorry, is not producing Vils. So, when you're advancing up, obviously you can't produce. Double range now from Ganji. So, I think, like, here is something that you just have to think about if you're Ganji. Obviously, the CA are great. But, guys, you've got to get to this hill, or you got to get somewhere safe with these Vils. I don't know where you TC, because you can't TC the elevated area. It's not pretty, but you just can't let your Vils exist here without a town center around. So I think he needs to buy some stone or something. Also, he just spotted a scout from Kasva. Kasva's making a lot of scouts. He's going to go light cav to raid this. I think Ganji's aware of that now and is concerned. Adding more spears, getting bodkin, and keeping an eye on this. Oh, and he just found them as well, actually. So he just found them over there. This will definitely be light cav from Kasva, no doubt. Oh, man, Ganji. I mean, again, this is just like a... This is a recipe for disaster. You need some level of protection. Maybe just buy the stone back, Ganji. Get a TC down fast. And TC2, TC3 for Kasva. Ganji will be hit by light cav on the wood line, but he's got a knight. He's got some spears there. Kasva's not going to care. Kasva's just going to fight it every time. Ganji's microing his spears to get the most value. The knight also helps. There's more light cav here, though. Villagers are going to start to go down pretty soon. This is so rough, man. This is so rough. It's just fully unprotected, and Kasva's just playing so safe. From the start, it just looked so tough for Ganji here. And Kasva's going to be 3 TC booming. Ganji also had to wall this as well. It's crazy he saved that. He's got idols in his TC. Is another light cav sniping another villager here. Oh, my word. So Kasva kills 7 Vils and is on 3 TCs versus 1. I mean, if there was ever a time you needed an all-in, this would be it. But when the opponent can make camels now, this is going to be tough, dude. Like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend. Like, I do think Kasva, for Kilimanjaro, had a really good map. I think he made the most of it. But, like, the starting lumber camp position from Ganji, losing the scout for Ganji, it just, maybe even the Civ matchup, just so many things that needed to go right for Ganji did not, leading up to this point. Guys, like, Ganji's going to be at 4 wins after 4 rounds. His final round is against Lix. This is a relegation situation for him. A player who was in Platinum, performed really well in Platinum before. CA are his only hope now. Cav Archers are his only hope. does get more quick walls down. And Kasva's just like... Kasva knows, like, all right, I win this game now as long as I don't make big mistakes. So let's be patient. He drops the house walls behind the gate. And he's got +2 armor, so he's going to wait for those camel numbers. Also, still always checking. Super annoying player to play against, by the way. I know you guys have probably never played against him. But Kasva, he's played a little bit more structured here than he does in ranked. Ranked Kasva is YOLO, dude. Like, if you've got a woodline like this, he's towering it. He's siege pushing you on the hill. Like, oh. And now, but I mean, he's played so structured here. Sometimes it's hard to, when you're a messy player, to play this structured. But this has been so good. I have to speak to Kasva. I want to know how much he's been training. Maybe it's just been the whole season that's been helping him prepare. But yeah, Ganji's completely toast here. That's way too many camels. Husbandry's even on the way. Like, this is just perfect. Everything about this whole series has been perfect from Kasva. He could just take that fight, honestly. He runs away because of the monk. I think you can take that fight. But you can also just wait a little bit longer because your eco's so much further ahead. Yeah, if you undermake army against Kasva, you get annihilated. Dragonstar knows. Kasva just backing away. Again, this is not patience that I would normally associate with Kasva. Not sure if Dragonstar agrees. But, you know, like most players at the very top, too. Okay, I'm ahead. Let's just take it easy. He's going to snipe the monk. Oh, I think he deleted that camel. I could be wrong, but I think he deleted that camel there. And now he doesn't give up the conversion. He gets the monk out of the picture. And now he's over on the gold. Then Ganji has to chase this. Like, Ganji is in a position where he needs to get counter damage. But he can't because that is too significant a raid. And now he has to come home. Now Kasva can take the hill. And Kasva, we know where he's going. He's going right to this woodline again. And he sees the CA. So now he's going to go right back to the gold. It's just perfect. And then he'll see the Cav archers here and say, okay, see ya, bro. I'm out of here. And now he hits the woodline. Snipes the monk. Ganji needs to quick wall. I mean, Ganji's quick walls have honestly been fantastic, but how long can you expect someone to really do that? And Kasva sniping the Vils over on this side. So he shows some patience with these camels. He's even microing back and forth to keep the Cav archers here. And Ganji does not want to believe it. He does not want to accept it, but he has just been swept. Kasva played amazing today. And Ganji, I think at the very least, would have really wanted to win in the second game, but you wouldn't have known it was his home map. You would have thought every map was Kasva's home map today. 3-0. And we'll bring up the group standings, but this is going to be huge to end this group in gold. Really big stuff. Perfect game from Kasva. Again, like, we're kind of looking into tweaking some things with Kilimanjaro where we can balance it out. I think you look at Ganji's base, it's just definitely not the easiest base. Feels like he's maybe lacking a couple trees. My thing is, though, like, you might not think about it, but, like, 9 trees versus, what is that, 17? That's pretty significant. So I was really surprised that he committed to 1 lumber camp play and 1 lumber camping that in the first place. And then he wasn't really sure. He lost his scout. He didn't know what his opponent was doing. He didn't know how to play, and he just felt stuck and confused. And I say this a lot. I've been swept many times. And I could just see through Ganji's gameplay in that third game that he was down and he was frustrated and he just didn't feel he could beat Kasva today. So let's look at results. All right. Let's look at results. Let's look at the table updated live right now after 4 rounds from everybody in this group. Again, we are casting the final round of every single group in gold. We're not going to miss any of that now. But let's look at the probabilities here. So, gold probabilities. So, we'll input the results that just happened. We had Stoneplease taking 1 game from Lewis. Lewis goes up to 9 wins. Kasva wins 3-0 over Ganji. Kasva goes up to 9 wins. So after 4 rounds at the top, we have Kasva with 9, Lewis with 9, and Licks at 8. And then we've got Say My Name. He is all but relegated at this point. I think he would have to win 3-0 in his final round versus Stone Please. And he would need Ganji to get... We're going to look through it, actually. Let's look. We got one more round for each player, right? Let's say Licks 3-0's Ganji. And then Say My Name 3-0's Stone Please. Does that not relegate Ganji and save Say My Name? Yeah, it does. Now, do I think it's going to happen? I don't know. But Ganji just got swept by Kasva, so that's at least possible. What if Stone Please gets 1 win? Wait. Oh, shoot. So yeah, Ganji obviously needs to avoid the sweep. Stone Please could just get 1 win and still be okay then. Whereas if, let's say, if Ganji gets 1 win... Okay, so if Ganji and Stone Please are tied, it looks like Ganji will survive. Wow, that's crazy. So let's just go back real quick and just look at the exact situation again. Who do you guys think wins first in this group? Hold on, this isn't correct. So Kasva and Lewis play each other. That should be really competitive. But then Licks plays Ganji, who isn't playing, you know, as good as maybe he has in the past. Let me see. Okay, so what if, let's say, like, Kasva or Lewis wins 2-1. Let's say Kasva wins 2-1. What happens if it's a... Licks needs a 3-0 to get first, regardless. Yeah, okay, Licks needs a 3-0, 100%. There's no way that doesn't happen. And even if he has... Even if he wins 3-0, there's no guarantee, because if, like, Kasva wins 3-0, there's no way he can catch up to 12 wins. Yeah. Yeah, so the odds for first place should definitely be, and the stats suggest that, for whoever wins the Kasva-Lewis set. But that's not guaranteed. What a group. That's pretty sick, man. That's pretty sick. Oh, wait. This also confirms that these guys are top 3 regardless for the playoffs. So whoever gets first goes up to Plat next season, immediate promotion. And then second and third go into the playoffs to potentially still get promoted. So, crazy group, man. Crazy group. If Licks wins 3-0, he only gets first. If Lewis wins 2-1. Because of tie breaks. Yeah, so we could have ties. And so the way tie breaks work is you go, and I will look at the other groups in a second, but so you go total wins first. If there's a tie there, it goes to set wins. If set wins is tied, then it goes to head-to-head. So, like, in theory, there's a world where if Licks wins 3-0 and then, like, Lewis wins 2-1, Licks and Lewis are tied for first. They have the same amount of map wins. They have the same amount of set wins. And then it goes to whoever won the head-to-head there. I actually don't remember who won the head-to-head there. I think Licks did. So, what is tiebreaker number 4? Tiebreaker number 4, I don't think we could ever get into, because the only way we get to tiebreak number 4 is if there is a head-to-head tie, and there can't be a head-to-head tie because they play one set against each other and one person wins there. So the only way tiebreaker 4 would work is if there's a 3-way tie of sorts, which, and then I forget what tiebreak number 4 is, but let's just say, no, we're not going to do arm wrestling. We'll do rock, paper, scissors, obviously. All right, let's look at the other groups real quick. So group C. Running LAN happened. Did that happen? No, I think. Shoot, I got to pull it up. None of these should have been played. Yeah, none of these. We're going to cover all of these. None of these should have been played. So this is an updated situation in Group C. So we've got SysCon at 10, Z40 at 8. Dude, Z40 got like 4 or 5 wins last time he was in gold and got relegated out. He really stepped it up, dude. He really stepped it up. And I think people were expecting Kingston and Running to be number 1 and 2 of this group. That has not been the case at all. Final series for Running and LAN is huge. Because LAN needs wins and Running needs wins as well to push for playoffs and survival. Z40 SysCon, kind of a fight for first place. But the only way that Z40 could get first from SysCon is actually winning 3-0. Which I would consider unlikely at this point. I think SysCon is clearly playing so well. I would be shocked if he gets 3-0'd there. But maybe Z40 gets a win. But then, Target's out. But if LAN beats Running, like... What happens if LAN beats Running 2-1? And then... No, he needs a 3-0. Oof. Yeah, LAN needs a 3-0 to survive regardless, right? Wow, okay. So yeah, if LAN doesn't get a 3-0 over Running, then he's gone. It doesn't matter. None of the other results matter here, I think. Yeah, doesn't matter. And then Target's also out. So that's kind of nice for Running, because Running isn't under as much pressure to get relegated. But Running will also want playoffs. So Running, if he wins 2-1, there are his odds to get into playoffs. If he wins 3-0, his odds obviously go up to get to playoffs as well. So, interesting. All right, what about Group B? Also, what's up, SysCon? SysCon's in chat. Wow, this group's crazy. Okay, so we haven't seen... So Miguel, Draken haven't played round 4 yet, which is a bonkers series. Because they played in the past in TTL and there was a lot of drama. I won't get into it, but there was drama. I don't think they love each other. Let's put it that way. So they play Friday. I think that's a 2-1 either way, but like I've not seen enough good from Miguel or Draken to really know. I would probably favor Draken. But like Miguel could still survive. But to survive, he needs to beat Draken. And then his final series is against Wide. So Miguel might have the easiest sets left yet. And he's in better shape than he was at the start. Rapard's been an absolute animal. He will play against Prisma. Prisma's also played very well. But the only way that Mihai and Prisma take first is if Rapard gets swept in the final round and they win 3-0 themselves. Mihai also plays Draken. That's an interesting group. I would guess right now that Rapard, Prisma, Mihai are playoffs. I'd go with the odds. Draken's 4th. Miguel and Wide get relegated. That's my thinking, but I could be wrong. And then Group A. Whoo! Look at the middle of the pack there, dude. Holy. What? Man. So we have Sobek at 6, Lucho at 6, Slam at 5, and Overtaken at 5. But Sobek has only played 3 rounds. And so he is up against Gookie. And Gookie has bottom of the group. So odds are pretty good for Sobek to be safe here and into the playoffs. If he gets like 2 wins, let's say, over Gookie and wins 2-1, he's... Oh, and then he plays Vivi at the final round. Oh, that's sick. Damn. So if this were to happen, chat, let's say it's 2-1 for Sobek over Gookie. I think it could be a 2-1 or 3-0 for Sobek. Regardless, whoever wins the final series between Sobek and Vivi wins first, right? Because even though Vivi's 1 point ahead, if Sobek wins 2-1, they should be tied on wins. Sobek has an extra set win and gets first place. That's actually really good. That's really good for Sobek. I mean, assuming he gets wins. If he doesn't get the wins off of Gookie, what are Gookie's chances? Gookie gets a 3-0, let's say, off of Sobek. And then this group's absolutely insane. Then we have 9, 6, 6, 5, 5, 5. That would be the drama result right there. Is Gookie saving herself in the last couple moments? Then she'd play Overtaken, but I think this season definitely feels like important experience for Gookie. I think Sobek's just too experienced and too good for her to do that here. I think she'll probably be out. Overtaken might be out again. Overtaken plays Gookie, though. Slam Lucho is a do or die set. Like, this is going to be so fun. Wow. Super fun stuff. Okay.